y'all, and welcome to today's video. We are going to be playing with the new BPerfect Stacey Marie Carnival Interstellar palette. That is a mouthful, but if you have been around on my channel for a while, you know that I fell in love with BPerfect and their first collaboration with Stacey Marie years ago. I loved my Carnival palette and I have bought every collab that they have released since. I love the palettes and I'm excited because I really want to play with this palette. There's some new formulas in here, but I will say it is another rainbow palette from BPerfect and Stacey Marie. We have rainbow palettes. Last year we got the Antidote, which was not a rainbow palette. So I'm looking forward to playing with this. I really love that we have these grays over here, but I want to put some of these colors to the test and see what I think about this and what I think about these new formulas. So what we're going to do today is create two different eye looks, and I'm going to kind of give you my initial thoughts on the palette. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week, so I hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. I am actually uploading every single day right now. I've been uploading every day for the past few weeks. So if you want new fun makeup content, this is the place to be. But I'm really excited to put this palette on my eyes, so let's jump into it. Let me just say, Stacey Marie is an incredibly talented makeup artist, and I am just somebody sitting in my room who loves makeup. I love to play with makeup. I love following Stacey Marie on Instagram. She is so talented. I love her color combos, and I'm very excited to see her collabing with BPerfect again. I know she loves this brand, so I'm always happy to see creators get to collab with their favorite brands. So this is a huge palette. You can see next to my face for reference how big it is. And I know they had new formulas in this palette. It says, okay, so we have 30 mattes, 3 duochrome pressed pigments, 8 shimmers, and 4 foiled glitter shimmers. So some of the shades in here are not approved for use around the eyes. That's fine. I use shadows, pigments, whatever, that aren't approved for the eye use all the time. It does not bother me, but if it bothers you, I'll throw it out there for you. I am going to show you a close-up of this palette, and I'm also going to show you swatches. Now, normally I don't swatch a palette until after I've tried it, because I do feel like the true test of a palette is how it applies on the face, because that's where I want it to really shine. You know, swatches are all fun, but I always want to see how it goes on the eyes. But I have, like I said, a lot of BPerfect palettes, so I know the formula pretty well, but I wanted to swatch this palette before I tried it on the eyes because of that formula that they're calling Luxe Foiled Glitter Shimmers. And I'm like, you know, before I get into this, I do want to swatch those and see. And to me, it feels like a shadow that has a very, very fine glitter to it. It doesn't behave in the same way that like a glitter does when you pick up a pressed glitter and you swipe and there's like no base and it's kind of sticky and sparse. That's not this. It feels like a shadow with some glitter in there. Now, if you don't like that, there's only 4 of them in here. So just FYI, I just wanted to swatch them before I tried to apply them on my eyes so that I could kind of know the texture, the consistency, things like that. But I'm excited to play with this on my eyes. I love makeup. Makeup makes me happy. I told y'all that I get excited for shadow. It really, truly makes me happy. So I'm really looking forward to playing with this. We do have a nice large mirror in here, and I did have one shade arrive broken. I wanted to say that too, but I was able to press it back in. It's no big deal. Now, we have rainbow palettes from Stacey Marie and BPerfect. So I really want to play with these colors. I want to play with the new formulas, and I want to play with these grays. I feel like cool tones have been so in this year. Like, we're seeing them so much in makeup. So I think it was really smart of them to do so many gray shades. But what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 different eye looks, but I want to keep the 2 different eye looks cohesive. Now, I know a lot of times with 2 different eye looks, you'll do one eye and then you'll do the next eye. But for me, the way my mind works, for me to keep my looks cohesive, even when I'm using different colors, different shades, I like to work on the eyes like simultaneously. So I'll put a shade here and then I'll put a shade here, here and here. So for me, that's the easiest way for me to get 2 different eye looks that are still somewhat cohesive, because when I do my makeup, I do like to wear it the rest of the day. So I want my looks to be super cohesive. So that's what we're gonna do today. I do have all of my makeup done except my shadow. There was a brush set that launched with this palette also. I did not buy the brush set. I decided just to buy the palette, but I will link the palette and the brushes down below. But I am going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom y'all in nice and close. Now that I've kind of given you my initial thoughts on this palette, I've shown you up close, I've shown you swatches, it is time to put this on the eyes and I cannot wait. So let's jump into it. Okay, so we've already established this is a huge palette, right? Tons of shades in here. So with 2 eye looks, I'm going to use a lot of shades, but not near enough for this whole palette. So I do want to go ahead and say this is just basically a first and second impression, and I will play with this palette more and more, and I will review this later on. Probably in a couple of weeks from now, I will put it in a ranking review video, and I will let you know my full and complete thoughts. But if you bought this palette and you want some inspiration, hopefully my looks will help you. Maybe you're on a low buy and no buy, you want to shop your stash. Maybe you aren't even into makeup and you just want to hang out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a good time here at my channel. But I did want to let you know that, of course, this is not a review today. This is just me testing, trying the palette, and kind of giving you my initial thoughts since I have used the brand for years now. What I think we're gonna do is we're gonna start with some purples over here, and we're gonna start with a gray over here. So my first shade on one eye is gonna be this shade right here called Light Year. And then over here on this side, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here called Hubble. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up Light Year on my Sigma brush. I'm gonna make sure I don't have any creases in my eye primer, and I'm just going to start by kind of pressing this shade all in my crease. So my socket of my eye is right here, and then I'm just going to blend this shade, but I just want to kind of press the shade on first so I kind of have the most intense pigment there, and then I'm just going to slowly blend back and forth, back and forth. All right, then I'm tapping out the creases on this eye, and we're gonna go in with that shade Hubble. I'm gonna be doing the same technique, and since I want both of these looks to be somewhat cohesive, I'm choosing the same level of depth. So different shades, but I started over here with a light to mid-tone purple. So over on this side, I wanted to start with a light to mid-tone gray. So if you were doing 2 different looks and you wanted to do like blue instead of the gray, I would just pick a shade that's similar depth-wise to the purple. Okay, now we're gonna kind of deepen up the outer corner, the outer portion of our eye. And I want to go in with, let's see, I kind of want to go in with maybe like this deep dark purple up here called Spacewalk. And then over here on the gray, I want to go in with this blue right here called Traveler. This kind of like a royal blue. Okay, so I've got that darker purple, and I'm going to stamp it right on the lid at the lower, or not the lower lash line, at the lash line, and then I'm going to just kind of deepen up this outer portion. So I stamped it right here where I want the pigmentation to be the most intense on the lid, and then I'm just going to slowly kind of blend in little circular motions. Okay, so I'm loving the purple that we have over here, but now I'm ready to add some blue to this gray. Look, I have my BPerfect mirror. I think this was not the collection they launched last year, but the year before that maybe. I use this handheld mirror all the time, but I want to add this blue in. Oh, I like the blue and the gray together. I'm just going to do the exact same placement that I did over on our purple eye. And I'm just going to work the same way, stamping it on the lid at the lash line and then slowly blending it up from there. Okay, now what I want to do is kind of use a light shade to buff out on both sides. So over here for the gray, I'm going to use this shade right here, Misty Moon. And over here, I want to use this pink shade called Fiction. So I'm going to pick up a brush that's a little bit fluffy. And I'm just going to use this, like I said, I'm going to pick up Fiction, tap it off, and I'm going to go just right along the edges to blend a little bit. So far, everything's blending really well. I don't think this blue layered the best over the gray, but that's okay. I think next time I maybe would start with the blue first and just let it go directly on top of my eye primer. So I'm just going to buff like that. And then I'm grabbing Misty Moon, that really pale gray, and I'm just going to buff very lightly, circular motions to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. Okay, before we move on to the lower lash line, I really want to play with some shimmer. I want to go in first. I want to try one of those new formulas, the Luxe Foiled Glitter Shimmer. And I'm really wanting to use this shade right here called Milky Way. When I look at this palette, that one stands out to me. And when the palette was being revealed, this one was like calling to me. So I really want to play with that. And then over here, I want to do not one of the glitter shades. I want to do one of the traditional shades, standard shades. I don't know what you would call it. So we'll do Interstellar. You know what, actually? Let's not do Interstellar here. Let's do this purpley shade over here next to the gray and blue. I think that will be really, really pretty. And then over here for this eye with the purple, let's go in with Reptilian, this green. I love green and purple together, and I know every time I do green and purple together, I have somebody say, oh, you look like Mardi Gras, and that's okay. I like green and purple together. I think it's so fun. Now, with the glitter type of shadow, I am going to use this Karla Fix Potion. It's like a glitter glue, glitter adhesive, whatever you want to use, you do you. But I'm actually going to use this on both lids to kind of prime the eye for shadow. And then I've got to put down Milky Way. I'm going to put that all over the lid here, but I'm not going to cover up our matte blue because I want to use that to add depth. Okay, so I've got Milky Way on my brush, and I'm going to press it on top of that adhesive. And I just want to pat at first. Again, I don't believe these are FDA approved for the eye area. So this is not me telling you to do this. This is just what I'm doing, okay? Listen, don't come for me. Don't say Heather told me. No, no, no. No, no, no. This is my personal choice that I am making, and I think this looks so pretty. It's definitely not like your old school pressed glitters. This has a base to it, lots of different reflex. That is beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy I decided to put it over here with the blue, because I think it just pulls out so many different like reflex from it. I mean, it would be beautiful with the purple too, but I just kind of wanted to contrast a little bit more. So I really like that. Okay, now I've got the shade Reptilian. This is not a glitter shade, but I'm still using that adhesive because it's just gonna make everything intense. And I don't like to use my fingers when I'm applying shadow, but if you do, that would be awesome too, because I know fingers are so great for helping shadows be intense. I just like using brushes. So I'm putting that green on, and this is a really beautiful metallic shade. I really like that, and I'll say it again, I love green and purple together. I love it, and I'm loving the way this shimmer looks with what we have going on in the crease and the outer corner. I'll blend the edges, like where the shimmer meets the matte, in a minute. I always like to kind of go back and blend there, but I want to let that shadow really set on the glitter adhesive that we use, the Karla Fix Potion, for a few minutes before I blend. So I'll do that in just a minute. Okay, so now what I want to do is work on the lower lash line. We're going to have some fun with the lower lash line. Over here on this eye, I'm going to start off with Alien, this deep, dark green matte. And I kind of want to buff and blend it out with the shade Celestial, this lime green. So what I'm going to do is start with a really small, like angled brush like this. It's pretty dense, but it's also like you're able to blend with it, but I really want to be able to pack this deep dark shade on. This is a Sigma brush, and I'm going to start by putting this right up against this lower lash line. I just have to look in the mirror when I do this. I'm not trying to cover it up so y'all can't see. I'm just keeping this right there at those lower lashes. So I'm going to press like this, and then I'll slowly just kind of blend a little bit, but not too much, because I want to add in that lighter green shade. I just want to make sure I have the most depth up against the lashes. Okay, now I'm going to switch to this pencil brush, and I'm going to coat my brush in that Celestial shade, and I want to just kind of blend out like this, and I'm going to blend out fairly low, just buffing and buffing like this, and making sure we kind of have that dark green that fades out into this more lime green shade. Okay, over here, like I'm loving the way this is coming together. It's kind of like Joker inspired, yeah? Like I kind of feel like the Joker with the green and the purple. I'm here for it though. Now over here, I really think purple or blue or gray, all of that would look so pretty, but I want to do something different. I kind of want to pull in this hot pink. So what we'll do is I'll start with this deeper shade right here, Conspiracy, and we're going to put that in the same place that we did the dark green right here. And then I'm going to go in with Supernova, the hot pink, and that will be kind of where we put this bright green. I think pulling in these tones will be a little like unexpected, but I think it's still going to be really cool when it all comes together. Again, you could definitely do grays, blues, or even purple with what we have going on the lid. But I just want to not do that. I want to add in these more pinky tones. So again, same exact placement, just making sure I get that right there. And now we'll go in with that hot pink Supernova, and same exact placement that we did on the other eye. Again, I'm just trying to keep things super like cohesive. And you know, I'll be the first one to admit that I bought this palette. But I'm also kind of like, again, you know, another rainbow palette. But man, these shadows are performing really well, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm feeling inspired when I look at this. I will also say I love the theming, like the interstellar, intergalactic kind of space sci-fi type of theme. I am really, really loving that. So if you're like me and you're like, another rainbow palette, but you still bought it like I did, let me know. Did you get this palette and what do you think of it? Because I'm having a lot of fun with it. And it's, I mean, there's a reason I've bought all the BPerfect Carnival palettes. I bought the first one and I enjoyed it so much that I'm like, yup. If it's got Stacey Marie's name on it, I'm gonna buy it, because her and BPerfect, they really make some magic together. They really do. So 50 years from now, when they're hopefully making Carnival, you know, 55, I'll be on the site with my card ready to buy it. Because they've proven that they know how to make some colorful shadows. Okay, I want to go back with the first brush with the shade Light Year, that first shade that we started with, because sometimes when I put on my shimmers, I bring them up pretty high, and I just want to make sure that I don't lose that mid-tone purple that we started with. So I'm just going to put on a little bit more, blend it up a little bit higher, buff like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with that Hubble gray. And I'm going to put that back in there. And actually, I'm kind of wishing I had chose a little bit of a deeper gray, and that is okay, because I have a little bit of a deeper gray that I can add in. So I'm going to grab 1969 right here. And I'm going to go over where I put that shade Hubble. Yeah, just something a little deeper so that you don't lose that right there. And I'm just going to buff that like that. There we go. There we go. That's what I was wanting. All right, now it is time for me to go in and highlight the inner corner of both eyes. Now, in this palette, we have mattes that go very light to very dark. So if you like to highlight the inner corner with the matte shade, you definitely have plenty of options in this palette. But I want to add in some more sparkle. So for this side over here, I'm going to use this shade Galactic. And for this side over here, what should we do? Let's pull in this. Let's do Mercury. Okay, so I'm going in with the shade Mercury. All the brushes I've used today are Sigma brushes. And I'm just going to press that right on the inner corner to give us some shine right there. Just a true inner corner highlight. Really, really pretty. And then for our blue, gray, pink, purple eye, I'm going to take this silver shade called Galactic and put it right there for a pop. Now, these are the eye looks. These are the completed looks. Of course, I want to add liner and lashes. So I'm going to do that, but, well, first I'm going to drop my brushes on the floor, but I am going to put on liner and lashes. I just wanted to let you see, before we do all that, how the eye looks are coming together. And of course they're two different eye looks, but I tried to keep the shapes very cohesive, and I'm feeling it. Okay, here is the look with liner and lashes. I put on some Kiss Royal Silk lashes. I put on a little bit of my black MAC eyeliner in the lower waterline and my Glamlite Scooby-Doo liquid liner just on the top lashes. And I have to say, I bought this palette, but inside I was thinking, Carnival, again, another rainbow palette. But of course, I love all my other Carnival palettes. So I'm like, let me buy this one. Let me see, just another rainbow palette. But I have to tell you, the quality is so good. Again, how many shadows did we use? Let me count. Okay, we only used like 15 shadows in total, and there are way more than 15 shades in this palette. So this is just like my first impression, my first time swatching the palette, my first time applying these shades. So I will keep using it, keep testing it, and I will come back in a future video with a more review on this. But so far, I'm impressed. If you have any of the other Carnival palettes, if you like the quality of the BPerfect and Stacey Marie collab shadows, I think you will really like this palette because I really like it. I'm having a very good first impression, and I'm really liking both of these looks. I love the way the green and the purple came out, and I actually really like this, whatever the fancy name they're calling this shadow that has the glitter in it. I think it looks so reflective and pretty. I think it would be super pretty for like New Year's Eve or something like that. I can't wait to play with this palette some more. I'm really looking forward to playing with it. I mean, I think I'm definitely going to have to wear this palette tomorrow. And I believe as you are watching this video, it is Thanksgiving here in the United States. So I want to say thank you so much if you are working today. First of all, I worked Thanksgiving for 12 years. I know what it's like to be working at the hospital and to not be with your family on the holidays. So if that is you, if you're working, wherever you're working, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate you, and we hope you're having a good day. If you're off, if you're celebrating with your family, I hope you're having a good day. If you're not living in the US and you're like, girl, it's just Thursday, I hope you're having a good Thursday. I had fun playing with this palette. I hope you will subscribe. I love creating looks. Truly, makeup is so fun for me. It's an escape. It's a happy place. I just like playing with makeup, okay? It makes me excited. So thank you for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a BPerfect playlist you can check out if you want to see more videos with this brand. But I will see y'all very soon in another video. Bye!